Hello everybody and welcome back to another stream where today we are continuing with the builds. Now, I have some new things to show off that you might not have seen yet. So I did do a couple of upgrades and all that other funny stuff. Just gotta make sure I put this in the thingy. Copy text. Put there, orange, perfect, yes, green. Anywho, so, today, I have a few new vehicles, some of which are a bit more expensive than others. Alright, I built a new fucking resource gathering machine that can also convert things into commodity, whatever the fuck they're called, commodities. And I've also built some new vehicles. The Big Jerry is a meme vehicle, so you don't have to worry about it. But the Series 1 DCO, I decided to make it look very fucking cool. Look how cool that looks. Like, yeah, damn. Like, doesn't that look cool for a fucking tank? You got the fucking armor fucking plating. You got some fucking deco shit. Like, this is a cool looking tank. And it's just the exact same thing as the last one. It just looks better and more interesting. So we're essentially doing this to a lot of vehicles today.
Yes.
So, for example, I'm just going to leave this guy in play and show off the newer vehicle that I built kind of on my own free time. That being the RVH and the General. The RVH is our new light vehicle. It has triple cannon, 80mm, firing at 70 rounds a second. And I believe its shell type is Sabo. No, it's armor. It's API. It fires API. Which is very funny. So today what we're doing is we're going to be decoing this thing up. Making it look, you know, better. Because if you look at this thing, essentially we're doing that to the sides of this thing today. So without further ado, let's get right into her. And we'll make it the darker one, the darker color, you know. In this version, we'll obviously keep the DCO title. All things are considered and whatnot. There we go, there's our side skirt armor. Looking snazzy, and then we get to the fun part of the decorations. Now I believe it is, yeah, okay. Like this, and then we'll need slope, I think this slope. Or do we go with the diag? Let's go with the diag here, yeah. The diagonal looks better. There we go. We got the side skirting down pat there, which is very good. Did not mean to do that. I think this is 3s. Yeah, this is 3. Okay. And then it's ones. Yep. Hello, hope you're having a wonderful day. I know that I am. Thank you for the drink. So yeah, no, we are fucking around a little bit with it today. Hello, hello, hello. But yeah, no, I am basically building deco plating, essentially. Can't even fucking... Nice tank, yes, indeed. It is nice vehicle. Hello. Need to get the diagonals up. And then the two piecers. Yeah, there we go. And now the fun part of doing the roof. Because that is going to be sloped pretty much. Like that. And then like that. Ooh, that looks fucking sick. Eh? Like, that kinda looks fucking sick from an angle there, you know? And just for consistency, this will be the series RVH1 DCO. So now we have the decoed version. You see the cost difference isn't by much, but like, they definitely look the part, you know what I mean? Like, this thing is the other tank decorated up and shit. Definitely looks the part now. Let us go now to the general. Look at this beast. It's basically an M3 Lee with a funnier setup. And we get to do the exact same thing to it with the side armor. Although this one we are so using heavy armor for. We'll have to make a little bit of a goofy setup here for the moment. But I do have a little plan, that is just to essentially extend the thing a tiny bit. Right, take a look-see now. Looks a bit beefier. Looks like she could take some like some punishment, you know? And now the fun part of the decos. Oh, yeah. You gotta make it the very dark color. Yeah. And then we go one slope down, kind of on either side. Like that, and then diag. Just like that. Nice. And then just for some extra flavoring, yeah, okay. And then I'm just gonna go prefab, tight. And I can just do this. And reverse it. And just like that, we got it on both sides. Looking snazzy, am I right, guys? And now time for the turret, and we can just activate it on both ends there. Decorations now. Keeping it the same flavor. Just a Reaper. Now this turret isn't sloped, but we can still add this over here, which is kind of what I'm gonna do anyway. Is it 2 diagonal? Right, no, it's 1. And then it becomes diagonal 2. Kind of gives it more flavor to the armor plating and shit, you know what I mean? Like, that definitely looks a lot better. You know what I mean? Like, that looks significantly better. Called the DCO. Oh yes, and if you're wondering, this is a front facer, and these two are circlers. So let me just spawn in, and we'll spawn in an interesting aircraft to fuck with. There we go. Yeah, the decoration armor is just decoration armor. But, like, it is so fucking awesome. Just to have it. Not to mention, this thing goes really fucking fast, too. Its main lethal weapon is the cannon. Which is the fun part. I didn't even show off the hedgehog and stuff yet. I gotta fucking update those ones too. Fuck me. So I've been taking the RH's hull, like, so specifically, where are you? This one. So specifically this hull, I've been making new vehicles off of it. For example, the RVH, Honeybee, is off of the RVH's hull, and it's a little missile platform. The Hornet and the Wasp are tank destroyer pack lasers. I'll spawn in the Honeybee because it's a goober of a little thing. Look at how goober it is. It has 2 medium missiles, and that's all you get. We'll spawn in the Hornet. The Hornet, as you can see, is pack laser, front facer. If you're in front of this thing, you're fucked, because its charge time is 1 second and it does 2,222 damage a shot. For example, I'll just spawn in installation, Sinner's Outpost, or whatever. Fuck it. Now, this thing does not have a lot of energy storage, but that's because of what we're going to make later today. We're going to make an energy storage craft off of this vehicle's hull. Now, this thing does like to sit far back because it's designed to sit far back.
Rolling into formation.
So I'll just manually tell it to go up there for now. But this thing is, you know, halfway decent of a vehicle because also a gas engine has the backup power pretty much. Although if you take out the RTGs, it does become basically useless.
Yes. Resuming control.
You know, I'll spawn in the fucking Wasp. This thing uses up all of its charge instantly, but if it hits, it is like, you're fucked. And I'll show off the other vehicle, the Hedgehog. Hedgehog is just a fucking missile carrier. It has 8 missiles that fire up vertically and it just circles around. Nothing really crazy for it. Other than that it's just a fucking wedge. The plan I have today is to make a tank destroyer version off of this hull. Not the R8, not the Hedgehog itself, but like the RH Series 1 hull is what I'm referring to directly. So I'm just going to do this, pull everything. We don't need it. And start working on the energy generation RH. So RH Series 1. You are not what I wanted. Actually, no, you are what I wanted. Fuck it. Okay, perfect. So the energy generation, I'm going to kind of just put up here. Right? And what I will do is this. Kind of just help out with the energy generation aspect of it, is give her the fucking beams of steam. Just some simple things like that. And just so that it has some form of offensive weaponry, but I'll make that here in a sec. Not going to be the hardest thing to make for an offense weaponry for this vehicle, because I'm just going to fucking give it a simple weapon. It's not really going to be meant for fighting, just rather for energy generation for an entire group of vehicles, essentially. That's what this thing's role is just going to be, is just straight up energy generation. Right? Now, you know, I could give it a simple thing at the top. Wonder if I have anything for it. Fuck it, it's gonna be a missile thing. Energy generation and a missile craft. That's what it is. It's simple. Missiles. There we go. Now they can fire off a lot faster. Hello. Yes, indeed. I'm just playing a game. So yeah, this will be... NRG for energy craft. Overall cost, let's check it. 30k is not bad. And what I'll do is I'll set up a distillery just to test. It's hollow. It's not hollow anymore. Simple solutions require simple things. Definitely a good vehicle. Alright, that's already a good vehicle there. So, next thing's next, the tank destroyer variant of it with the other hull. I'm not gonna take that, I'm gonna just go down and go, this is the hull, type RH1. This is where the ammo and shit's gonna be. Nice, okay. Okay. AI wise, I'm going to add in my point at. Stay about that far away from things. Advanced cannons. I'm going to start working on that in here. So, this is the layout we have. Alright. Now time for the fun to begin. Do I want to go with a 3 or a 2? If I go like this, and then like that, alright. It's a 179 millimeter. Alright. Let me make a simple, go with an 8. Solid APHE, just like this. Okay. There we go. That should work. It should be long enough. Alright, and I do have ammo in the ass of this thing, and I will get more fuel too. There we go. Visuals. Nice. Okay. Gonna go up by 1 level 2. All around, that is. Now this is mainly so I can get an AI in here. And boom. AI detection. Huge oversized rangefinder, because why the fuck not? With that, fill her up on mats. And we'll give her extra armor because she is a tank destroyer. Da-da-da-da. Perfect. Look at that beautiful beast. Now for the fun. Decorations. Railing, strength, 4 meters. Slope. Slope. And then go like this. Boom. I missed that. I missed it. Oh, let's just go like that and go that. That. Diagonal. Right there. And a diagonal there. And where's my letters? Gives it a bit more texture, I argue. Again, I'm making this thing look nice. Because if it looks nice, it might perform better. It obviously adds more firepower, right? Obviously, it adds more firepower to do that. Very nice. Very nice. Alright. Type RH Series 1. Stingray. Yeah, that sounds like a cool fucking name, right? And we'll just give her a quick test against structure. Let's just go with water tower. I made a critical mistake. Where is it? Breathe, engine, breathe! Fuel engines. Save the vehicle as the Stingray again. see the damage figure so far. Whenever it hits hard. It is abundantly apparent, so we'll just have it focus fire on the top part here just for a moment. And it missed. It's good to know the damage figures, to say the least. Whew, look at that shot there. High. So yeah, these are the new things that I'll be bringing into the campaigns and stuff, because the old vehicles are kinda dead for the most part, and we need something that actually kinda works. Alright? Like, sure, my other vehicles were pretty decent for the time, but we need stuff that can fire fast, dish out punishment, and go from there. So like stuff like the General, for example.
Listening.
Or something like, well, we have the General Decorated Edition now. Like, stuff like this is what we need to see more of, you know what I mean? Because they will dish out the punishment that cannot be dealt with regularly. And for example, just so I can kind of do a thing, I'll go on to Red Winters today, in the sense of I'm going to just show what I mean.
Listening.
I went on to Barron's yesterday to test some stuff. But let us go with, for example, this, right? 21k materials for this vehicle. Frosthive is basically on par with it.
Yes? Targeting.
But like, this thing is pretty quick and can dish out punishment, which is the good part. Probably message Monsieur Necro that I am the testing of the vehicles.
Yes. Targeting. Yes. 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 Targeting.
This thing's armor is definitely having a good effect so far.
Yes. Targeting.
It's definitely having a good effect. These new vehicles are definitely better than the old ones. The worst they've done so far is just take off the deco armor that I have on it. Let's spawn in one of the light tanks as well, just the new light tank that I have to help out the RVH. 11,000 materials.
Yes. Rolling in on my way.
Really? Whatever. So yeah, no, like, for example, the Series 1, very, very solid platform vehicle, has a fast-ish firing cannon, 1 second intervals between shots. So if I spawn in, we'll go with 100,000 materials worth of this of this tank, what should be 5 of them. Yes, it is. Let me spawn in something that is about as like equivalent as them. Frostfang. This thing's fucking sick, by the way. It is a laser tank of pain and suffering. I love the look of it. I hate what it does to my vehicles.
Targeting. Yes. Rolling into formation. On my way. On my way. On my way. On my way. On my way.
These guns are dead, but this thing, the things around it, their guns are all still working, which is the part that's alrighty then, I guess. Because if these guys can take down a Frostfang, then I know 5 of them are equivalent to a Frostfang. Which, in my opinion, is one of the most pain-in-the-ass things to deal with in Necro's Red Winter campaign. Just because of how funny it can get. Considering it has the most trolly armor I've ever seen on a laser tank before. Like, look at the armor. It has so much fucking trolly-ass armor that it's like Keska the Flying Fuck. I need to test out a funny vehicle real quick. So first things first, get rid of this. You just spawn in the Hornet and the Wasp. Hornet. And the Wasp. That's 70,000 versus 100,000. So I'll spawn in a honeybee, a hedgehog, and the stingray.
Yes?
Now what I'll do as well is summon in a energy. All these versus a Frost Fang.
Listening.
Land boat standing by.
Well, I guess that's kind of what happens when, you know, you run into things. And our little repair tank is back.
Yes? Rolling into formation. On my way. 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 Yes?
The best thing you can do with this vehicle is just set it in like an automatic type of pattern. Then it can get kind of close to your friendly vehicles and just repair them. The badger. Oh yeah. The other vehicle that we have is the Big Jerry version. This is the Big Jerry turret on a tank. I fixed it up a bit, but just so I can kind of show off why this thing would never be viable, I'm just going to do one small thing. God mode on. And, Frostbang. There's a reason why God mode's on, because this thing is basically just a giant waste of materials, but I built it as a meme, essentially. I built it as a meme, and it does that much damage, by the way. Doesn't do a lot of high explosive damage, but it definitely starts shredding after a bit. I have a theory. I want to test out a funny. I need to test out a very, very bad funny.
Listening.
1, 2, 3, 4 of these versus structures. Apartment complex. This is gonna be the equivalent of hitting the war crime button. Hello. There you go. This thing is, it's a meme vehicle. But, the results still stand. It fires APHE, but I wonder if I need to,
Yes? Rolling into formation. On my way. 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 On my way.
Dear Jesus. They're certainly shredding. Don't mind me, I'm just carving a hole through your house. Imagine rolling around a corner in War Thunder, and this is the thing that comes around the corner. 60mm. It's a lead storm, Jesus Christ. Just progressively making a fucking giant wall of fire. Now, eventually I'm going to cut this building in half. But my name ain't Phil Swift. Either way, I am going to be heading out. I hope everyone had a good day, and I will be catching